All right, so what we're going to do is let's just do an example where we graph two different things. Now, yours is going to be better because you've got a lovely grid, whereas mine is going to be a little bit rubbish. I'm going to at least get these straight. I know, look at the straight line tool. It's astounding. Now, the problem is that I have to do these at even intervals, which I can't. Hey, stop. Oh, they get wider and wider, don't they? Oh, geez. That's not close. Ugh. Whatever, close enough. You're going to have lovely grids. Yours is going to look way better than mine. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's just pretend that it's awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is graph a quadratic in the same way that we did the other day. So I would like to graph y equals x squared. Let's do... Actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. You unbelievable mind reader. Okay, so that is the equation that I would like us to graph. Let's do the first thing. What's the first thing we said we were going to graph? X-intercepts. Y is 8. Excellent. So let's do the x-intercepts. So how do I factorize this? Okay, x minus 2, 4. I'd like some better answers. What are my two numbers?
-4 and negative.
And what? Oh, yep. You know what? I meant to make this minus. That's what happened to my brain before. Sorry. I have not had much sleep. Okay, so these are my two numbers that add to the middle and multiply to the last. So what are my x solutions? 4 and negative 2. So these are my two x-intercepts. So let's go -4 and +2. Tim has already told us that the y-intercept is 8, -8, isn't it? Yeah. So I clearly have not made enough space on my graph for this, which is why you should always do your working out. Stop it. It's doing that thing again. I don't know because it hates me. That's why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all we need. All right. So we're going down to 8. And whatever. All right. So we're also doing our turning point. So the turning point, does anyone remember the x coordinates, Joshua? Good. Minus b over 2a. So what's minus b? Good. So it's +2, isn't it? Yeah.
Pointed it wrong. You did -4 and 2, not 4 and -2.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
I have not had a lot of sleep. All right. So it should be -2 and +4. Yep, that's much better, isn't it? Okay, so what's negative b? It's 2, right? Because it's -2 over 2a, which makes the x coordinate 1. That's nice and easy for us. So then we substitute in 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 8, and that gives us... So 1 minus 2. So all I'm doing, remember, I'm putting x back into my original equation. So what's 1 minus 2? -1 minus 8? -9. So that means this is my turning point. It's 1, -9 is my turning point. Bless you. Then what's my axis of symmetry?
This one.
What's the equation of my axis of symmetry? X equals 1, right?
Wow. Whoa. What a straight line.
I've never in my life taught a class that says wow more than grade 10. You are... Wow. Are you applauding yourselves? Is that what's happening right now?
The Mariana Trench. The Marinara Trench.
This is the Mariana Trench. Excellent. Well, let's add some water and some fish. All right, excellent. That's a really good point. Why are the fish in the core of the earth? Okay, they should be in here somewhere. These are fossilized fish and these are live ones. All right. So these are the four things. Now, this is our graph. What if I want to find the solutions of this graph and this graph? All I'm going to do is graph them both. Guys, focus. I'm going to graph them both and see where the lines intersect. That's all I got to do. So what is the y-intercept of this graph? -4. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the slope of this graph? 2. So how do I use the slope? Yeah, so remember rise over run. So this is 2 over 1. If there's nothing on the bottom, say it's over 1. So I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, right? You can do it as many times as you want. Because what I need to do is I need to keep drawing this graph until it intersects with this one. So obviously you are going to have a much, whoa, what is happening right now? You are going to have, I think it's trying to be helpful, but it's really not. Stop. It's not even that, is it? Okay. Try that. All right, much better. All right, so now what we want is the points of intersection. So it intersects here, and it would intersect if I'd kept drawing that properly. Wow. Okay, this is why you need actual graph paper, right? Because this is rubbish. So this coordinate down here is about -1, right? This looks like -1, and this is like -4.7, something like that, right? It doesn't, this would be 5. It's a bit above that, okay? And then this one up here is kind of like, what, 4.5 maybe? And then over here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 maybe. So you see why this is not the best method. You are making approximations. Sometimes approximations are fine. Sometimes they will give you lovely, perfect coordinates. But when we're being asked to find the solutions of these equations, they mean the points of intersection. So you're going to draw them both on the same graph, just like you normally do. Good job. And then look at where they cross each other. Most of the time, the question will give you the domain and the range. When I say domain, what do I mean? What do I mean by domain when we talk about graphs? Oh, not quite. Okay, let's remind ourselves. Oh, why isn't this saving? Let's remind ourselves, domain is all the X values and the range is all the Y values. So if the domain is from -3 to +3, that's what they're asking the X-axis to do. And if the range is from -5 to +5, that's what they're asking you to draw. So you'll see for something like questions 2 and 3, right? Oh, and 5. Questions 2, 3, 4, and 5 all give you a domain to work with. They're telling you how big the graph should be.
What's the range?
The range is all the Y coordinates. So the X is the range of the X values, and the range, I shouldn't have said range. The domain is the possible X values, and the range is the possible Y values. So exercises 18.5 and 18.6 are the same thing. Sometimes you're reading graphs, sometimes you're drawing graphs, all right? Don't bother drawing a graph if you don't have to. Obviously, that takes time. All right, good luck.